Okay, you're good.
Today we're talking about a subject that rarely is discussed because no one knows about it. It's called addictability. The ability to get addicted. The current paradigm says anyone can get addicted. Anyone can be an addict. And it's just through your own stupidity and immorality that you take enough of a drug that makes you addicted. And anyone can do it. Yet we know very well that there are heavy hitters who are not alcohol addicts or any other kind of drug addict. For that matter, behavioral addictions are rare, but they definitely exist. Gambling, sex, religious fanaticism, workaholism, money addiction, whatever. But it's only a few percentage of people who do that behavior that get addicted. In my paper on my website, Hypoism Hypothesis, I list the percentages that have been studied for different addictors, drugs in particular. And the highest is for cigarettes. 30% get addicted. And that goes along with what's seen in reality, where 25% of the population is addicted to cigarettes. But it's not 100% of people who smoke. And even Nora Vokow, who wanted to be like her teacher who smoked, the interview that discusses this is on the archival website Fresh Air, public radio. She said she wanted to be like a teacher and smoke. She tried smoking and it made her sick. She could never get herself to smoke. Yet she continues to push the theory of the hijacked brain hypothesis, where the drug gets you addicted if you use it. She knows that's a lie, yet that's what NIDA's website says about all addictors, that they hijack the reward system. It's wrong, it's a lie, and not anyone can get addicted. So what is addictability? Well, one thing is for sure, every addictor raises dopamine. Addictability hasn't been studied in humans, but my guess is that it's dopamine deficiency or dopamine activity deficiency or reward activity deficiency, however you want to put it. The biology hasn't been completely defined, but we know we have a cascade of neurotransmitters leading from the midbrain to the nucleus accumbens, which is all part of the addictive nature of dopamine raisers. And that's where they raise the dopamine. Down the cascade to the nucleus accumbens, squirting dopamine around the brain. In the 80s, it was discovered that dopamine deficient mice, rodents, rats, were the ones who got addicted. Doing drug preference tests in the drugs in the water, only the low dopamine activity rodents preferred the drugs to the water. And that could be inbred to a number of rats where you had 100% addicted. It was all through dopamine deficiency, genetic, that led to that outcome. The one experiment that has never been done in the long history of experimental addictionology is testing for dopamine receptor activity in children and then following them for 40 or 50 years to see what happens to them over time, and correlating the initial dopamine activity to the outcome later on. That would solve the question once and for all about who gets addicted and why in terms of dopamine activity. That study has never been done, but we have a natural history of ADHD people, and these are hypoics. They have, it's been shown they have low dopamine activity. Specifically, the D2 receptor is deficient in ADHD. And no doubt it accounts for the natural history of the ADHD. And we all know ADHD is a diagnosis of addiction in the future. They all pretty much all get addicted to one thing or another. So that's a misnomer. ADHD is really hypoism. And we need to study these hypoic children and then see what happens to them over time to show that not all people are addictable and only hypoics are addictable. And we need to focus on getting hypoics when they're kids, when they're children, at young ages into recovery for the disease of hypoism long before they become addicts. And that's true prevention, and that's the only prevention model that really will ever work. Getting the hypoics into recovery as kids, and then they don't have to get addicted as adolescents and adults. And that's the value of the hypoism paradigm, and that's what's being kept from you by the addiction community, who is censoring anything about hypoism from the population. So get a book, Hypoics Handbook, read the book, and start a meeting in your area, and then we can start treating kids and preventing addictions. Thank you.